Facebook, we had some technical difficulties, but bear with us. We are getting the party back started, and we're going to pick up where we left off. But of course, it was our first time going live, and so we're getting everything right for you all. So bear with us. We'll be with you in a second. I'm waiting on the rest of the co-host to hop back on in, but drop a comment. Tell us what you've been doing during this pandemic while you're at home. And I'm just trying to set everything back up, um, so that we can continue the conversation. We got some great hot topics we wanted to talk about and join. So let us know what you've been doing, to keep busy during this pandemic.
Say we gon' set your day right, yeah. Na, 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 na. We gon' turn it up nice. Na, 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 na. Get ready for the time of your life. We bring the vibes and we bringing it right. We're the brunch bunch, doing it right, doing it right. Go we on here and we ready to bring the fire. Turn the radio up. Go we on here, we're the brunch bunch, take it higher. Turn the radio up. Go we on here and we ready.
I figured I would do the intro over since we starting over again. But one of the things I've been doing to keep busy during this pandemic, I've been reading more. I've finished 3 books. If you're looking for some books to read, Black Fortunes by Shamari Willis, I believe, is a very good book. And I was inspired to read that book after watching the Netflix series about Madam C.J. Walker, and it was just a very very good series on Netflix and a good book. And then I read J.J. Smith's 7 Day Apple Cider Vinegar Cleanse because I'm at home. What better time to do a cleanse and get your body right in the spring? And then I've also read Don't Judge Me, Bill O'Reilly's Killing Jesus. It's a historical account of the life of Jesus. And so I wanted to hear a different perspective of history. So, yeah, it's been great. What have you been doing during this pandemic? Comment below so that we can share your comments with our Facebook viewers. I've been getting calls. People are exercising in their home. Um, Virtual parties are a new big thing. I don't know. I've done probably 100 virtual parties since I've been locked in. Friends uh, have been
No,
joining
I
me, and
I have
we.
to go. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you live. We out here.
Oh, send it to my other email.
I sent it to both.
It didn't come through. Sorry.
Okay. Well, listen. You here?
I'm here. Okay.
You here? No, I was talking to the listeners about what I've been doing during the pandemic. Paris McFarland says she's been eating during this
Oh,
pandemic.
okay.
I read, like I said, I read 3 books. I told them, and one of them was by Bill O'Reilly, and one of my cousins asked me, "Was I a secret Republican?"
Oh, no, you can learn from them, their thought process. We
Yeah.
have to
Well,
be open. We have to be open. And I think that's what, when people say, I'm a Democrat, you can't be one thing. You can't just eat chicken. You got to eat
right.
steak, you know?
Lord, don't get me started. I'm so tired of chicken since I've been in the house. Chicken and rice has been on the menu every night. um, but yeah, so 3 books. I did The Sopranos. I did
Okay.
6 seasons of The Sopranos. I woke up one morning thinking I
What
was
made you do The
Italian.
Sopranos, though? You hadn't seen it before?
No, I have. I just loved it.
Okay.
So I wanted to. Okay, there you go. Now we're just waiting on the other beautiful co-host to join us. Kathleen says she's still working, doing bookkeeping, help others. Miss Kathleen, I hit you up. I need to get with you. She's doing bookkeeping, helping us with SBA loan. Shout out to Mr. Early Walker who is tuned in. Do you know Early Walker, Charmaine?
I do not know Early Walker.
Early
Who is
Walker
he?
is an entrepreneur from Inglewood, owns a major tow truck
I
company.
see my glasses
But
off of his
he's
bearing.
like this secret angel. He's the secret
Oh
angel.
wow.
And so
Okay.
during this pandemic, he's partnered with some sponsors and they've been feeding seniors.
Oh,
They've been delivering care packages and groceries, and so it's pretty interesting. You know what this time has taught me to just kind of reflect on life and see what God's trying to tell me and what's going to be my next step. I did almost beat myself up because I felt like I wasn't being productive for the
mm-hmm.
first 2 weeks. But you
Well,
know
no,
what?
you needed that rest
Now,
to reboot. You
yeah,
needed to
my
reboot.
therapist said, "Look, I'm not
Your
crazy, but
therapist.
I talked to a therapist for that, and she mentioned that don't allow people or social media to make you feel bad. This could be a time just to rest and reset. So that's what I've been doing.
Restoration. Yeah.
So Charmaine, hey,
Restoration.
listen, look, not a shameless plug, a plug. If you're hungry, order you some
That's
Uncle
right.
Remus
I
some
am
fried chicken.
open. I am open every day and from noon to 8. And we are here to serve you. You know, we are definitely practicing social distancing. You know, I was telling my managers in our weekly call that I was so proud of our employees, especially our cashiers. So let me just inform everyone what I have done because I don't take it lightly that they are considered essential workers and those cashiers are in direct contact. If
Yes.
anyone is going to become, if communal was the communicable way of passing it on are the cashiers. So at my Broadview and 47th location, it was kind of the open ordering policy. There was no protection. So I installed plexiglass in the short term to protect them from that the element of the corona. And of course, we always had gloves, but I'm proud of them because they really practice social distancing. They really get it. And
Yeah.
I kind of look at the camera sometime and they're really keeping the social distancing that's in the lobby. But what's not the chuckle? So I put up the plexiglass on 47 and Broadview. Broadview is not so bad, but 47 is about 3/4 of the way. How come our people just go around the plexiglass to talk? Oh, I'm out
Are
the
you
camera.
serious? Look, you
I
going around
promise
it
you.
now.
No, I don't run around it.
You was
I'm
like,
being very demonstrative on this FaceTime. But yeah, they literally go around the glass and it's a chuckle, but it's also disheartening because we're trying to protect you from us and we want to be protected from you, but yet you want to go around the glass to talk. And so I just told the cashiers because it was such protection. You know, some of them didn't want to wear masks because they're kind of younger, and they didn't quite get it. So of course now, if anybody have any masks, you can hit me up. I don't want any ones that are made from home. No disrespect. The face mask that we have when we go to the doctor. My supplier, when he asked me if I wanted some, I'm like, no, I'm good. But now I would like to have a need to again give another layer of security for my cashiers and my staff who doesn't have it. So yeah, we have done a lot of things to stay open, maintain, be open, and us being open is allowing at least 40, 50 employees to
wow.
still have a check every week. The check is not a full check. And as I said to them, some money beats zero money because I don't know what's going on with unemployment, but I know that the system here in Illinois is have totally burst. They had somewhere 2 million, 3 million unemployment
Apply.
claims, and they're not even to the capacity to handle 4,000, at any given time. So waiting on unemployment, well, you'll probably be waiting till next year. So as I said to them, something is better than nothing. And then whatever I can do, if I have, a toilet tissue, I think we got off before when I was joking about the toilet tissue. I told him I have plenty of tissue. I really do have plenty of tissue. It's industrial grade tissue. It's not going, you can't be rubbing yourself a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? But
You
it's
might test
still
something up.
something that I have offered to them to at least help them because their check is short, and they still have bills and everything. And I know that I'm hoping that some of them applied when the mayor put out that they were doing the rental assistance, giving $1,000 for the rent. I immediately, passed that on to my employees, and I hope that they took advantage of it. But all I can do is pass them on the information, and can't make them follow through with it. But we are blessed to be open, so blessed to be open and able to feed the people that, don't cook. Still some people that don't cook. It's about,
Listen,
40.
Uber Eats was my best friend the first 2
Uber
weeks.
Eats, yeah, Uber Eats is everybody's friend, and DoorDash and everything. And I was sharing with the lieutenant governor's office and the mayor's office. They're kind of using my business as a barometer as to if anyone is shelter to home, and my customer count is down easily over 500 a week.
Wow.
So somebody's staying home. And I want everybody to stay home because we want things to go back to normal. We really do.
Yeah, the sooner we all get it and stay home. Now, I'm waiting on our other guest co-host.
Yeah, where
I
are
want
they?
to. Were they still on the other one when you got off?
Yes, they were, but I clicked them off because you sent the link, and Tamara said, "Oh, he sent the link for us to come onto this one," but I don't know why and where they are. Oh, everybody's waving at me though. I gotta wave at everyone.
Yeah, well, you
I
know
had my
what? I
phone
want to
down.
talk. I
Oh
want
my
to talk
God, I had
about.
my phone down, and I had so many people waving at me. Hello, everybody. Well, I try to pay attention here. We have to learn this new technology. So thank you all for staying with us and bearing with us. And
Yes.
I don't have my glasses on because I notice it's a glare, but then I have to squint to see everyone. But we're going to get it right. We
Well,
got some great
kudos to those people who go live daily and have these shows. It is no easy job.
no easy
It's not
job.
just like setting up a camera, your phone in front of you and just going live. When you need
Right.
lighting and microphones and
Right.
all of
See,
the
I have to
setup
give
to
me a
make
dark
sure.
wall like that because I'm upstairs in the loft part of my house in the office, and it's neutral walls. So you have to get the color, mic, and
Look,
everything.
I sat in front of the window so I can get a
Yes.
little natural lighting. But when it's dark, I don't know what's gonna happen. But
Yes.
you know what? And even in my research to get this set up, just the software, being able to have
They
the
are listening to
names.
us. I just want you to know they are listening. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
I know, I see it. I can't literally. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't multitask. So being a producer and a co-host at the same time ain't working for a brother. But no, Mariah was texting me to check backstage. Look how deep this software is. Like backstage, like go get them from backstage.
Right.
But it's a
Are they
lot going on. I
backstage?
do want to talk about, and we could just get it going. The number of deaths in the African American, just overall the pandemic deaths, but to see 68% of the deaths in Chicago were African Americans was a travesty.
Yes. Yes. And there's Debra
There's
Vine.
Debra.
Debra Vine.
I didn't go to my text messages.
I'm like, where are they? Were y'all both still in the other one?
No, Tamara went away about 5 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. We wait. Technology, baby. I tell you, it's on like a pot of neck bone. But no, we were talking about 68% of African Americans dead from COVID-19 in Chicago. Now, why do you all think the African American deaths are so high?
Well, I think it's twofold, and we've talked about this on the show as well. I see Jason. Hey, Jason.
Don't be putting Jason out to view.
It's okay. I know that, and we can talk about that more. Hopefully, Tamara will join us.
Yeah.
And I know that one is the disparity, and we talked about just, a few miles up the road, downtown, the life expectancy goes at about 24, 25 years. But can we really talk about the elephant in the room? And I'm going to start it off being the smallest in the room, but it does not exclude me. We have to take care of ourselves. These underlying conditions that is causing it to be expedited in our community, our health our health demise is expedited, I should say, in our community because we do not take care of ourselves. And then we say, well, our people did it. You know, my mother ate fatback, chitlins, she ate all of that. But I do also feel that they ate from the ground and is definitely healthier there, and everything that we eat and we ingest in our bodies is been really processed and everything like that. So I'm not saying that we can't eat how our culture has been ingrained in us, but we have to make healthier choices and decide to live healthier.
I
And I
think it
think that
has a lot of I think, okay, so firstly, I believe it's the lack of access to healthy food items. So it's not always that, because I live in the hood and there's no grocery stores by me. So it's not, and you know, a lot of convenience is it, you know, when people move now, you look at walkability. Where can you walk to? Can you go to, when I want to take somebody to lunch for a lunch meeting before social distancing, you can't find anywhere to eat healthy in our communities. You know, there's not. So that's one of the issues that I see. The other issue is underinsured people and ignorance too. Because here's the deal: Granny is at home saying, "Baby, you don't feel good. Lay down." And it's not just because you don't want to go to the doctor. You may not have insurance to go to the doctor, or there's not enough tests at our local hospitals. I emailed a couple of hospitals, and I'm hoping to somebody from Loretto Hospital is going to be a guest. I'm trying to see how many tests are they testing a day, or the capacity to test because they're in the community.
Loretto Hospital, the CEO of Loretto Hospital was on with LaShawn Ford on channel, I forgot which channel, maybe Fox yesterday. And you could hear the passion in his voice because, as you all know, Loretto Hospital is on the west side. And they've been hit with the heroin addicts. And that was because, you know, that's on Heroin Highway on the 294. And now with the corona, he was adamant, vehemently passionate about the fact that these back-to-back, he's already dealing with a heroin pandemic. And now to have a COVID-19 pandemic, I mean, they're at their wits' end. My sister works over there, and I keep telling her, call in sick. She's like, no, these people need me. But I definitely, when you talk about these tests, it's really a lot because Black people do not go get tested. And then it's not because the insurance, because that stimulus bill made every single thing that is associated with COVID free. And if for those of you who don't know it,
but that's not true.
But no, you know, can I say my say? Because I have
true.
I have to concur with Charmaine and you. And then I have to disagree with you a little bit, Marcel, because it's all about choices. Because even if the grocery stores that are close in urban communities, if they change the way they start stocking the grocery stores, the people wouldn't shop there because they're used to buying fatback, they're used to buying hot links, they used to buy all the things that they've been raised with. But you have to have a change of mindset. And yes, Tamara, George Miller is one of the most passionate CEOs that I have ever met. He has taught us about the disparities of 7 miles this way and 7 miles that way, the disparities that are going on with. So it's all about the mindset. I tell you, I'll be 62 years old in June, and I have changed my entire mindset. My refrigerator does not look anything like it did last year. Because if you buy it, you're going to eat it. I refuse to buy chips. I refuse to buy cooking oil because I don't fry. And, you have to change the way you do stuff. And I'm missing me some Uncle Remus saucy fried chicken. I'm just going to tell you the truth. But I refuse to let Corona give me a heart attack or make me sick or have a challenged immune system, so that if I do, God forbid, get Corona, my body can't even fight it off. We have all these underlying issues in our community, the high blood pressure, the diabetes, and all these other things. And people that have these underlying issues, I know for a fact, because I know a lot of them, they don't even take care of themselves.
Well,
so we can't blame it on all the community.
I'm not going to blame it on all. And we all have choices, just like God gives us the opportunity to make our own choices, even though we don't always make the right one. But when you don't know better, how can you do better? And I believe in if you change the brain, you change the head. But they're not teaching this to, most of these parents, these young parents can't even cook because they was raised by parents that can't. So all they gonna do is eat out. And if you don't have transportation down here, or you can walk to the corner restaurant and get a piece of puff, 2 for $5 with extra mild sauce and flaming hot, why you gonna go 10 blocks that way? You gotta take the bus or Uber or walk to get a $12 chicken wrap sandwich, and then you spend all your money. So I'm not taking up for them, but I believe that more can be done. But with the COVID-19, I haven't seen mobile testing sites in the hood.
I agree. I have someone who made a comment on our post, and another population that we're not thinking about is the homeless population.
Well, it's no way not thinking about them, or because I think that JB and when I say our Governor JB Pritzker and Mayor Lightfoot have been quarterbacking that homeless situation very effectively.
Because they mentioned buying out hotel rooms for the homeless.
They're keep them. Hotel rooms a pretty penny too.
Yeah, I wish I owned one right now. But no, I think when I saw those numbers, it's a travesty, of course. But what?
Yeah, but can I just say, I understand they're buying out for them to have a place to sleep, but I'm talking about them getting access to having that testing, because that information, they don't necessarily have phones, they don't have the television. That's what I'm saying when we're forgetting about population.
Well, that goes back to my point of the mobile testing.
African American. That's what I meant.
That goes back to the mobile testing. You see them in the north suburbs, you see northwest side. I have not seen a mobile testing site on the west side or the south side where people can drive up or walk up, get a test. And to Tamara's point, this stimulus bill with the free testing, I've been reading where insurances are still not paying for it unless it's coupled with other healthcare services. And so people can pay out of pocket. I saw one laboratory doing $99 for the test, but you still have to have an order from your doctor. But what about people who don't have primary care?
People need to download, and for those who do not have internet accessibility, do not have printing accessibility, download that CARES Act. It's an 880-page read, but a lot of people don't have a lot of things to do. Read that 880 pages. It says it in the first 100 pages, though, that everything that's associated with Corona is to be free, and that all insurance carriers are to honor that. Now, if you don't do it, that means you are violating a federal mandate. Now, I don't know about y'all, but the feds got a 98% not approval rate, but 98%
success rate.
Success rate. Those odds say to me, if I'm an insurance carrier, I'm honoring it.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I don't know what else we can do to keep preventing the deaths except telling our people to stay in the house, and not go outside. They closed the liquor stores early on the west side. Not that I know any of our listeners care about that, but
well, they care. They on the west side. They thriving. Somebody
listen. When they announced, when the government announced.
Marcia, that's voluntary that the liquor stores are closing at what time? 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Every day?
Yes, in 3 police districts,
right.
which
11,
are all west 15. Side.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a whole nother conversation, though, because I'm trying to figure out why they only target the west side.
But can we just give...
That's where all the people are gathering.
Can we give some attention, and maybe we have, but maybe not enough, to those maps? And I'm going to call them, for lack of better word, those heat maps, where if you look at it, and maybe we can put it up on our live. If you look at where the most impact is, and we had it up about 68% were in Black and brown areas, mainly Black areas. That says something deeper to me. That doesn't, because all those 68% are not lacking healthcare. They're lacking trust in the healthcare system.
Good point.
They're also lacking the fact that when you're going to these testing sites, you run a greater risk of actually contracting it than you do yourselves. And so a lot of people that are disenfranchised have a very good reason to be disenfranchised, but along with that disenfranchisement comes a lack of trust in those agencies. And so if we start to restore the trust, we'll start seeing a lot of people inside of those heat maps actually going and getting tested. But I'm not sure that I'm a proponent of testing right now. The jury's out. I'm like really, really still researching. My brother that all of you know and love was on a plane in October, and a lady was coughing incessantly. And was from, I forgot where he was coming from, but he came to Chicago, came to my house. He left the very next day. And from October to February, they had been misdiagnosing him. Bottom line, he had corona, right?
Wow.
Yeah, he got over the corona, but look how long he was with the misdiagnosis. And that from October, that was even before we started reporting it, right?
Right.
October, that it was like the Chinese virus, and I don't subscribe to that. I'm saying,
okay, Trump.
The president said it was over in China, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's over there. It's not going to get here." Please, whatever is over there is coming here eventually. And so my overarching goal here is, my overarching point, I should say, is we just didn't know enough, but we had an opportunity to get in front of it. So when you look at those kinds of things, and people who are already skeptical, which most Black people are already skeptical about what you are saying to us as the remedy, you're not going to get them to buy in.
Well, you made a good point when you said, and I want to go back to the lack of trust in healthcare. Chantrell, one of our Facebook Live viewers, said they have mobile testing in the rich suburbs. Now, here's the point. I may not trust the healthcare system, but if you got some tents outside where I ain't got to be stuck in an emergency room or enclosed room with all of these people that's coughing and cackling, then I'll go get tested. And
But
so,
any place that they're doing any type of testing, whether it's a tent or whether it's in a hospital, you take a chance. I mean, even before COVID was here, every time I would go to the emergency room, I would just be doing like this, like, people coughing and sneezing. And, Jason's doctor actually called us yesterday and said, "You want to come in and take a look at his foot? Orthopedic has a bunch of openings." No, I'm not going to anybody's hospital in the name of Jesus if I don't have to.
can I ask you what hospital?
It was the VA.
Oh, well, of course. Now I said that. Here's another point in the Black community. These small doctor's offices have closed and canceled appointments.
They
And I
have.
know that to be a fact because a good friend of mine who was recently diagnosed with prostate cancer a couple of months ago was going to the doctor. He had cold symptoms and he was a little nervous. His doctor told him, "Oh, we're canceling all appointments. If it get bad, go to the hospital."
Wow. So let me ask you guys this. What if you get a toothache? Where do you go? Where do you go?
Say it again, Debra.
If you get a toothache, what do you do? I mean, dentist offices are closed.
Go to Harlem and Madison. It's a liquor store. Get you some 100 proof granddaddy.
Look, they're not closing at 6.
And they pull it with the pliers.
You better get that before 6 and drink as much of that and it'll knock. What do you think, Tabby?
At 5:55, we're gonna prepare to close.
Listen, when I first
hurry up, make your selection.
when I first got sick right after the radio and I was at home, I went straight to the liquor store and bought 2/5 of 110 proof granddaddy.
Any excuse to do, myself.
Hey, it knocked that not Corona, Lord. It knocked that cold right out.
I will say this, that God has a way of putting things back into its natural order, right?
Yes.
And because God is not he's not the ruler of the earth right now, you know that if you really read your Bible, he says that he stays out of mankind's issues because of how mankind is doing. And so, but he's got to insert himself into this order because man cannot take over this world. And if it is indeed a man-made virus that is changing the scope and the trajectory of how God intended it, trust and believe. For all of you believers out here who are rooted in the word, you know that this is going to just be for a time. And so we have to make great use of our time, and we have to always be ceaselessly in prayer and always know that he is the Alpha and the Omega. He's the author. He's the finisher. He's definitely not going to let this go past where it's going to just wipe out mankind. It says in Genesis that the earth will always be. Now, it doesn't say that we will always inhabit this earth, but if we are devoted to be inhabiting this earth, then we should be equally as devoted to making sure that we keep our faith up, keep our bodies up, keep our minds up. And that's another thing I want to talk about tomorrow is mental distancing.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Not social distancing, but
that's a good one.
Mental distancing tomorrow because it's going to be key to keeping your minds healthy, because mental health is equally as important as physical health. But
I'm glad to hear you say that, Tamara. I'm glad to hear you say that because
that was a good one.
We did a meditation stress relief for special needs parents Zoom meeting last night, and I tell you, we had about maybe 25 participants, and they were so relieved and just so balanced after it was over. So I'm glad that you're going to be doing that tomorrow.
Well, Tammy, you said something good. And the Bible teaches us that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and they that dwell therein. So, believers, there's never enough time in this hour.
Wait. I want to answer a question because this is going to be important. Because if you do have a toothache, my girl, Dr. Linda Stewart, we affectionately know her as Stu, said that the dentists are taking emergency services. They are in the emergency room.
Thank you, Dr. Linda.
Dr. Linda, thank you. I got some help I need done.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Saved you from buying that fifth and recoup.
You know how to rain on a parade. Well, look, we encourage you believers to keep Love 24 alive. Tell someone that you don't know that you love them. This is worse than when we in the radio.
I know, but I gotta say one more thing.
Yes.
One more thing.
The one more thing is Early says that first of all, he says you guys are awesome, but he also said that they're giving away food to the seniors and they need food in order to continue to give them away. The number is 773-731-3311, 773-731-3311. And seniors are definitely in need of groceries. And all of you all who are familiar and follow Early, he is the saint. He's like the Robin Hood, only he doesn't steal from the rich. He just gets from the people who have the capacity to donate and gives to those in need. So that number again is 773-731-3311. He definitely is a saint. And when everybody perishes, guess what? Early gonna be here.
Look, Tammy, I'm like you now. Right. Look, you know what? You like the lady at church that they give a program and you get up and say, this program is subject to change. No, but since we're doing announcements, I want to make sure that everybody supports Uncle Remus Chicken. If you're not cooking, if you're hungry, Uber Eats, curbside pickup.
Absolutely. And I've been feeding the healthcare workers as well. So I don't have, nobody's paying me to do it. I send hundreds and hundreds to the hospitals, to the frontline workers. So, you know, if you come and support me, trust me, it's definitely being a blessing to others who are in need of it right now.
All right, Debra, put that church finger up. Go ahead.
I do. Real quickly, we have not canceled our annual walkathon. It's going to be May 15th. We're actually doing it virtually. So you can go to our website at theanswerinc.org. We will expound more about it on next Wednesday, was it Thursday show? But you can go to our website at theanswerinc.org, or if you want to ask more questions, you can call me at 708-296-5651.
Listen, I'm like Ken. Let me get a sign that say 10 seconds.
Well,
One
No,
more
go
thing,
ahead.
one more thing.
tomorrow on Wednesday, I don't know if you guys have been following this. First of all, I just want to take a moment of silence because in the childcare community, we lost one of our colleagues. Her name is Joan Williams, and she passed away. She's the owner of the Learning Tree, and she passed away from coronavirus. So
Oh,
a
wow.
lot of emergency childcare facilities that are open. I'm not saying that she was an emergency childcare facility that is open, but she contracted the disease and she perished. I'm very concerned about the emergency childcare workers that are taking care of essential and first responders children, because as you know, first responders children, you know that they're 100% exposed. And so if you have PPE that you can donate to any of these first responders, please give us an email. Give us an email at ccauillinois@gmail.com. ccauillinois@gmail.com. Again, that's CC like cat AU. It stands for Child Care Advocates United. I share a platform with some amazing, passionate professionals in the child care field that have ceaselessly been advocating for child care workers, child care children, child care people, families in child care, because childcare, as we know it, has changed. We're doing e-learning and so forth. So tomorrow, Representative LaShawn K. Ford has started a weekly Wednesday informational portal right here on Facebook using the same StreamYard at 1:30. I want you guys to definitely come on and talk to IDHS, because IDHS, what you know, is the Illinois Department of Human Services, will be on to answer questions, not just in the child care field, but anything that is related to the Department of Human Services that's receiving services, and you have some questions and you can't get answers because they're working remotely, but those numbers and portals that you usually could access are inaccessible now. Definitely get on our live tomorrow. Go to LaShawn K. Ford's Facebook page and then just join in, and you will have 9 of us plus LaShawn K. Ford, as well as the representative from IDHS, to give you any information that you need. But I definitely want to give some prayers out and some love out to the family of Joan Williams and her, not just her biological family, but the family she served in her centers. So her Learning Tree family, we all share your loss.
Oh, yes.
Praying for you.
Well, we're praying for all affected who have either contracted this disease, or all of you that are listening and affected because you have to shelter in place. And I know it's not easy, and I'm looking forward to talking about mental distancing
Shelter in
tomorrow.
place. Oh,
Who?
is shelter in place like shutter in place?
It's both all the same. Listen, I'm the producer. I can mute your mic now. I'm gonna start muting you.
Mute.
Listen, no, but we encourage you all to keep love alive. Lead with love, and you'll land on love. And love will keep you sane during this shelter in place. So until tomorrow, everyone, thank you, Charmaine. Thank you, Deborah. I love you, Tammy Fair.
I love you too.
I love you, Charmaine and Deborah.
Love you all.
Seconds. Just follow us. Love you, Deb. Love you, Charmaine. And believers, we love
Love you.
tomorrow.
We love
Tomorrow.
you.